Well, Jess, what's going on? It's been a week or so.
Yeah, we missed last week. You guys were out traveling.
Yeah, I was away. I forget what our last episode was on though.
We did that rye.
Oh,
from North Carolina, the end of days rye.
North Carolina one, and then our buddy John, who's not here today with us, had that. He had a tequila or vodka that they did.
Gin. He had a gin.
Gin. Okay.
He had a gin that they had from, and we were debating. I actually looked this up. We were chatting. Me and John were chatting in a text. I think he couldn't remember when it was. That distillery, End of Days, opened in 2020, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So October of 2020, if I recall. So
I know they were a newer distillery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, good.
That was pretty good. That stuff. After listening back and listening back to the episode or whatever, I liked it. It was pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I think I changed my tune a little bit on that one after.
Yeah, it was good.
I know when I had first cracked it, I was not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But after it sitting a little bit, and I think it only sat a few weeks, maybe a month since we tried it. But
yeah, it was pretty good. I kind of dig it.
Good. Well, I'm excited for tonight then.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to another episode of PA Whiskey Guys. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jesse.
And today we got a great episode. It's going to be episode 12. We have Ben Holladay Soft Red Wheat. Jesse, what can you tell us about this?
So Ben Holladay, it comes out of Missouri, Weston, Missouri. It was founded in 1856 by Ben Holladay and his brother David. Ben Holladay, known as the Stagecoach King, built the transportation empire and was the largest individual employer in the U.S. by the late 1800s, which is pretty cool.
He had some stake in the Pony Express as well for a little bit.
Okay.
Back then.
Yeah, I would assume with the Stagecoach.
And I think with the Stagecoach, his business, he sold off to Wells Fargo.
Oh.
Back then.
Yeah, wow. Mm-hmm. The distillery itself, like I said, is in Weston, Missouri. It's on a limestone springs. Limestone is great for making whiskey. And that land, it was chartered by Lewis and Clark in 1804. Another American history fact, I guess, with Lewis and Clark. The distillery changed ownership several times before being acquired by the McCormick Distilling Company in 1993. And in 2015, they underwent a $10 million renovation. So yeah, coming out of Missouri. Missouri straight bourbon, and I believe, Chris, I think you have some facts. It's often referenced as Kentucky straight bourbon, so there's some rules that apply to, you want to put that on your label, straight bourbon, or Missouri versus Kentucky straight bourbon. So
yeah, this one is classified as real Missouri bourbon, and that was under a 2019 law required any whiskey labeled as Missouri bourbon must not only meet federal standards for bourbon, but also be mashed, fermented, distilled, aged, and bottled in the state. Aged in oak barrels manufactured in the state. And beginning in January of 2020, it had to be made with corn exclusively grown in the state as well.
Wow.
So the Missouri bourbon is everything sourced from
pretty
Missouri.
strict. I don't know if Kentucky
is,
if the corn or the grain has to be from there. I'm not positive. I actually never heard that.
I haven't come across anything.
Yeah,
as
I don't
far
know.
As Kentucky says
I do know that Kentucky straight is the same concept with the barrels built there or made there, whatever.
Okay.
So that's actually something that we should probably look up.
As far as the corn goes, I don't know about the corn.
Yeah,
source.
I feel that it has to be owned. The crops, the corn crops or whatever, have to be owned by the distillery.
Oh.
And it could be in a different state, but it has to be owned by them. I don't know. There's probably some weird rules like that or whatever, the fine line of stuff. So
see, I'm screwing in some of the bottle and bonds history too.
Yeah.
Because I know that's all U.S.
Yes.
Everything's U.S. for that. But
Yep.
So as far as the Kentucky, I'm not too caught up on that. What are we looking at as far as the mash bill on this?
This one is 73% corn, 15% wheat, and 12% malted barley.
This is one of the rare, or one of the few bottle and bond wheats, right?
Yeah, it's considered a wheater, as they would say. It's like wheat whiskey, you know. Typically, instead of the wheat, it's rye. You know, they replace. There is no rye in this recipe. That's the difference, really. You know. Obviously, the percentages probably can vary because we did the Bardstown. I forget what the mash bill, if they even told us about it, but I feel that one was a little bit.
That was 95.5.
No, not the.
rye.
I'm sorry, the wheated, the Bardstown wheated.
Oh no, I don't remember.
We did that one, yeah. Which is, I don't think it's the same as this, but I don't remember honestly. So this was this is aged 6 years, at least 6 years.
Which bottle and bonds are required 4 or more.
Yep, 4 or
more. So that's
more.
nice that it's 6+.
Yeah. These, it says this in our little notes here that aged for 6 years in ironclad rickhouses, which I'm assuming that's something different than the typical wood rickhouses and all that stuff. And it says the barrels are sourced from the middle floors of the rickhouse to ensure consistency and flavor profile. So, you know, I know that plays a factor everywhere. You know, I'm not sure about the whole weather patterns in Missouri because that also plays a factor. So, you know, I don't know of any other whiskeys, bourbons, or ryes for that matter that come out of Missouri. I'm assuming there's some, but off the top of my head, I don't know about many. So, but yeah, this is the soft Ben Holladay soft red wheat bottled and bond. So it's 100 proof. Going with the whole bottled and bond.
Again, I'm expecting this to be one of the ones I appreciate because so far I've enjoyed most bottle and bonds that I've had.
Yeah, it's quality. That's why they do it. That's why they did it way back when, because it guarantees that quality essentially.
Yeah.
You know, government owned and run or whatever, not owned I should say, but you know, overseen by government. So
I'm jumping into the nose a little bit on this. And
yeah, see what this is like.
I get a sweetness, but like a dark fruit, like a dark fruit sweetness.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Get a little oak.
After letting it sit a little bit, that ethanol is kind of gone.
It's gone. Yeah,
we get too much of the ethanol first.
Sometimes pour these, you know, for the listeners. We sometimes pour these ahead of time and, you know, let them sit for 5 minutes in the glass and, you know, get that oxygen going in it.
I found the better results come after we do that.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
I haven't had one that I open right up and it's better then instead of after letting it sit.
Right. I'm getting a little bit of sweetness. Little fruitiness there, I think.
On the nose still?
Yeah, in the nose. I can't pick up what it actually is.
In the oak, you know, you smell that woody flavor, or that woody aroma.
Doing a little taste now.
And again, as you're listening, comment and if you've had this, and let us know what your thoughts are, your aromas, your taste, your palate, your finish.
Yeah, this is actually not a PA one, so this might be a little bit harder to find for those here in PA. We've seen it in other states close to us, obviously.
I know we saw it in New York and down south some.
Yep, Maryland, Delaware. They have it, and they have different varieties. They have a rickhouse version of it, which I believe is 125 proof. They have there's something else. I can't think off the top of my head what they make too. But I think we saw 3 bottles when we were in New York that day.
Yeah.
What are you getting on the palate?
Dry and bitter, but that's in the finish. I'm going for another. I definitely get a nutty, like a mixed nut, but it's that walnut. I really taste the walnut. Not a lot of sweetness. I don't
Yeah.
get a lot of sweetness on the
I'm
palate.
still getting a little bit of sweetness in it. Definitely the oak comes through.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a little spice to me. I don't know what that's coming from.
The first few sips were spicy. These ones, it's not. It's more of that dry, bitter, like a walnut. I mean, like a nut platter around the holidays.
I get it. I kind of get it.
There's a lot what I get.
You know, the notes are saying toffee, heavy amounts of toffee and charred oak.
Yeah.
So I get the charred oak part of it. Notes of leather, and I think I'm finally picking up on that note when we're doing these tastings and stuff. It does say mixed nuts and fig. Again, going on the whole fig thing. I guess I gotta find one and try it just to see what it tastes like because I don't understand it.
I think of fig Newtons, and I feel like they've added sugar to them.
Yeah, I feel there is too. Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like that's a true fig.
Yeah.
That leather, I can relate to the cigar world. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see similarities in tasting in both of those cigars and whiskey.
I am getting the dryness and the little bit of the bitterness, which I give you with the nut thing there, the walnut for sure. If you had them, it gets a little bitterness on the finish. And definitely they're dry for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Overall, good though. I like this one.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
You know, it has a lot going on. It has a lot of good flavors going on. I like it. Big fan.
Yeah, I think it's pretty tasty as well. It's different. It's not super sweet like the Bardstown one was for me. You know, that one's like that's a dessert in a bottle. This is.
You're talking about the Bardstown Weeded?
Yeah, the Bardstown Weeded one.
That one was in a bottle and bond though, right?
No, I think no. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to add this to one of my favorite bottle and bonds. Just I mean, it lived up to my expectations. That's for sure.
I think John has the Rickhouse version of it. You know, like I said, he's not here with us today. He's got some prior engagements that he's taking care of.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
he missed a good one.
I think he's at a birthday party. Yeah, he definitely is gonna miss this one. You know, it's always good when we try, different for us. You know, the bottle's been open, but we tried it one night with other stuff. I think, and I don't remember it, but it's good. It's a go-to.
Again, I think opening it up, letting it sit for a while. I haven't noticed any that the first crack is the best one.
Yeah.
Usually once you let them sit a little bit, I feel like we enjoy them more.
Yeah.
Enjoy them better. So, well, you got anything else for this one?
No, I give it a thumbs up though.
Yeah, definitely.
On all levels. It's worth a shot. It's worth trying.
All
so.
Right. Well, good. Thanks for bringing this bottle out. I appreciate it. This is great.
Of course.
This is a good one. And for those listening, don't forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we're also the listening platforms are Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. And until next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jesse.
And we'll catch you with your cork out.